Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
An estimate based on little or no information. Guess correctly. Solve by guessing. He guessed the right number of beans in the jar and won the prize. Judge tentatively or form an estimate of quantities or time. Expect, believe, or suppose. I guess she is angry at me for standing her up. A message expressing an opinion based on incomplete evidence. Put forward, of a guess, in spite of possible refutation. I am guessing that the price of real estate will rise again. An estimate based on little or no information. Navigation without the aid of celestial observations. An estimate based on little or no information. An estimate based on little or no information. An estimate based on little or no information. A solid missile discharged from a firearm. The shot buzzed past his ear. A person who shoots, usually with respect to their ability to shoot. He is a crack shot. An informal photograph, usually made with a small handheld camera. My snapshots haven't been developed yet. Varying in color when seen in different lights or from different angles. Chatoyant, or shot, silk. An aggressive remark directed at a person like a missile and intended to have a telling effect. His parting shot was, drop dead. A chance to do something. He wanted a shot at the champion. The launching of a missile or spacecraft to a specified destination. A consecutive series of pictures that constitutes a unit of action in a film. Sports. The act of swinging or striking at a ball with a club or racket or bat or cue or hand. A good shot requires good balance and tempo. The act of firing a projectile. Informal words for any attempt or effort. He gave it his best shot. The act of putting a liquid into the body by means of a syringe. The nurse gave him a flu shot. A small drink of liquor. He poured a shot of whiskey. A blow hard enough to cause injury. He is still recovering from a shot to his leg. An attempt to score in a game. An explosive charge used in blasting. Sports equipment consisting of a heavy metal ball used in the shot put. He trained at putting the shot. Reason by deduction. Establish by deduction. Guess correctly. Solve by guessing. Believe to be the case. Conclude by reasoning, in logic. Draw from specific cases for more general cases. Judge tentatively or form an estimate of quantities or time. Be close or similar. Her results approximate my own. Located close together. Approximate leaves grow together but are not united. Very close in resemblance. Sketched in an approximate likeness. Not quite exact or correct. The approximate time was 10 o'clock. Judge to be probable. An approximate calculation of quantity or degree or worth. An estimate of what it would cost. Judge tentatively or form an estimate of quantities or time. I estimate this chicken to weigh 3 pounds. A judgment of the qualities of something or somebody. Many factors are involved in any estimate of human life. The respect with which a person is held. A document appraising the value of something, as for insurance or taxation. A statement indicating the likely cost of some job. He got an estimate from the car repair shop. Judge tentatively or form an estimate of quantities or time. A measuring instrument for measuring and indicating a quantity such as the thickness of wire or the amount of rain, etc. Accepted or approved instance or example of a quantity or quality against which others are judged or measured or compared. Diameter of a tube or gun barrel. Adapt to a specified measurement. Gauge the instruments. Determine the capacity, volume, or contents of by measurement and calculation. Gauge the wine barrels. Measure precisely and against a standard. The wire is gauged. Mix in specific proportions. Gauge plaster. Rub to a uniform size. Gauge bricks. The distance between the rails of a railway or between the wheels of a train. The thickness of wire. Judge tentatively or form an estimate of quantities or time. Pronounce judgment on. Form a critical opinion of. I cannot judge some works of modern art. An authority who is able to estimate worth or quality. Put on trial or hear a case and sit as the judge at the trial of. The judge tried both father and son in separate trials. A public official authorized to decide questions brought before a court of justice. Determine the result of a competition. Form a mental image of something that is not present or that is not the case. Expect, believe, or suppose. I imagine she earned a lot of money with her new novel. Expect, believe, or suppose. Express one's opinion openly and without fear or hesitation. Have faith or confidence in. Judge to be probable. Take account of. You have to reckon with our opponents. Expect, believe, or suppose. Deem to be. Make a mathematical calculation or computation. Express a supposition. Take for granted or as a given, suppose beforehand. I presuppose that you have done your work. To believe especially on uncertain or tentative grounds. Scientists supposed that large dinosaurs lived in swamps. Expect, believe, or suppose. Require as a necessary antecedent or precondition. This step presupposes two prior ones. Judge or regard. Look upon, judge. I think he is very smart. Recall knowledge from memory. Have a recollection. I can't think what her last name was. Have in mind as a purpose. She didn't think to harm me. Expect, believe, or suppose. He didn't think to find her in the kitchen. Use or exercise the mind or one's power of reason in order to make inferences, decisions, or arrive at a solution or judgments. I've been thinking all day and getting nowhere. An instance of deliberate thinking. I need to give it a good think. Bring into a given condition by mental preoccupation. Decide by pondering, reasoning, or reflecting. Can you think what to do next? Dispose the mind in a certain way. Do you really think so? Focus one's attention on a certain state. Think thin. Have or formulate in the mind. Think good thoughts. Imagine or visualize. Just think you could be rich one day. Ponder, reflect on, or reason about. Be capable of conscious thought. Man is the only creature that thinks. To believe, especially on uncertain or tentative grounds. A message expressing an opinion based on incomplete evidence. A hypothesis that has been formed by speculating or conjecturing, usually with little hard evidence. He dismissed it as mere conjecture. Reasoning that involves the formation of conclusions from incomplete evidence. A tentative insight into the natural world. A concept that is not yet verified but that if true would explain certain facts or phenomena. A scientific hypothesis that survives experimental testing becomes a scientific theory. A message expressing an opinion based on incomplete evidence. A proposal intended to explain certain facts or observations. An investment that is very risky but could yield great profits. He knew the stock was a speculation when he bought it. A message expressing an opinion based on incomplete evidence. A hypothesis that has been formed by speculating or conjecturing, usually with little hard evidence. Speculations about the outcome of the election. Continuous and profound contemplation or musing on a subject or series of subjects of a deep or abstruse nature. A hypothesis that is taken for granted. A message expressing an opinion based on incomplete evidence. The cognitive process of supposing. A message expressing an opinion based on incomplete evidence. Imagine to be the case or true or probable. I surmised that the butler did it. A message expressing an opinion based on incomplete evidence. Infer from incomplete evidence. Take a risk in the hope of a favorable outcome. A source of danger, a possibility of incurring loss or misfortune. Drinking alcohol is a health hazard. Put at risk. An unknown and unpredictable phenomenon that causes an event to result one way rather than another. Put forward, of a guess, in spite of possible refutation. An obstacle on a golf course. Behave unnaturally or affectedly. The enactment of a pretense. It was just pretend. Represent fictitiously, as in a play, or pretend to be or act like. State insincerely. She pretended not to have known the suicide bomber. Imagined as in a play. Dangling their legs in the water to catch pretend fish. Make believe with the intent to deceive. Put forward, of a guess, in spite of possible refutation. I cannot pretend to say that you are wrong. Put forward a claim and assert right or possession of. Pretend the title of king. An investment that is very risky but could yield great profits. Proceed somewhere despite the risk of possible dangers. We ventured into the world of high-tech and bought a supercomputer. Put at risk. Put forward, of a guess, in spite of possible refutation. A commercial undertaking that risks a loss but promises a profit. Any venturesome undertaking, especially one with an uncertain outcome. Music, melodic subject of a musical composition. The accompanist picked up the idea and elaborated it. An approximate calculation of quantity or degree or worth. A rough idea how long it would take. The content of cognition, the main thing you are thinking about. It was not a good idea. Your intention, what you intend to do. The idea of the game is to capture all the pieces. A personal view. He has an idea that we don't like him. An approximate calculation of quantity or degree or worth. A judgment of the qualities of something or somebody. In my estimation, the boy is innocent. The respect with which a person is held. They had a high estimation of his ability. A document appraising the value of something, as for insurance or taxation. An approximate calculation of quantity or degree or worth. The act of bringing near or bringing together, especially the cut edges of tissue. An imprecise or incomplete account. Newspapers gave only an approximation of the actual events. The quality of coming near to identity, especially close in quantity. Work out in detail. Find the solution to a problem or question, or understand the meaning of. Come up with. Do physical exercise. Give a workout to. Make a mathematical calculation or computation. Be calculated. The fees work out to less than $1,000. Happen in a certain way, leading to, producing, or resulting in a certain outcome, often well. Find the solution to a problem or question, or understand the meaning of. Take up with the tongue. The cub licked the milk from its mother's breast. Touching with the tongue. Pass the tongue over. The dog licked her hand. Boxing, a blow with the fist. Find the solution to a problem or question, or understand the meaning of. A salt deposit that animals regularly lick. Beat thoroughly and conclusively in a competition or fight. We licked the other team on Sunday. Find the solution to a problem or question, or understand the meaning of.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.